got the mission call, and it was, a couple of months before I go. And my mom would go to work, and I didn't work before I left, so I was kind of just at home, just kind of goofing off before I left my mission. And she'd call me from work, and she said, "Son, do you want something to eat?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So she gives me an In-N-Out burger, right? And the next day she calls, "Hey, honey, do you want some lunch?" "Sure." Brings me another In-N-Out burger. She probably brought me In-N-Out burger like 5 days a week, I think. And we were just really close. And when I got married, I did not know that 4 years after we got married that my mom was going to die. And my mom's been, she's never really been sick, and I never would have thought she would have, just died from just being sick all of a sudden. My mom and my dad went to Texas for a wedding, so she felt obviously healthy enough to travel. They drove to Texas. And the time the wedding came about, my mom says, "You know what, just go ahead and go without me. I'm not feeling too good. I'm just going to stay in the hotel room." And my dad left the wedding early to see my mom, and my mom wasn't really responsive, and they had to take her to the hospital. And then we got a call from, we're in St. George, saying, "Hey, Mom's really sick. She's in the hospital in Texas." And then by the time we got there, I couldn't say bye to her because she was already under whatever, and she wasn't the same. And so my mom was 50. She was going to be 51 a few months later, and so she was pretty young, and I was questioning life, and but then of course the other things came. My dad was a type of Mexican dad. I mean, my dad wasn't he wasn't a macho type of guy, but my mom served my dad. My mom enjoyed it. My mom didn't mind it. Whenever we'd have family get-togethers and barbecues, my dad would just sit at the table, and he would already know that my mom's going to serve him a plate. He didn't have to go and wait in line, because my mom would always do that for him. And my dad was a mess. He didn't know how to do anything, it seemed like. When it came to her funeral, my dad had to borrow money, but he was basically counting on her 401k. My mom didn't have any life insurance. She had a 401k from work. She had like maybe 10 grand. And after you pull out from your 401k, you lose about 25-30% just from taking out your 401k. So all he had was about $7,000 for a funeral. And my dad had a job, and they gave him 3 days off because my mom passed. But he had to go to work because he had a job. And it's one of those things where being a part of Primerica, and when I joined Primerica, I never really joined because of that experience with my mom. That wasn't one of the reasons why I joined. Even though I knew that happened, it's not until you hear people around you that pass away and you really think about what is it that we do as Primericans. What are we really here for, and do we really understand the impact that we can make on a family's life? I think that's what makes us as agents. That's why when you talk to a Primerican, we're a little bit fanatical and crazy about what we do. And there's a reason behind that. Even though there's things that you can do in Utah, there's drinks you can sell and vitamins, there's nothing wrong with those things. But those things do not have the impact that what we do. And I know if somebody quits, in my personal opinion, 99% of the people, if they ever decide to leave Primerica, I truly believe it's because they joined for the wrong reasons. They just joined all because of the money. They just wanted the big money to come fast enough. They weren't willing to do all the work to get that kind of money, and they just ended up quitting. Everyone that I know that I've had a relationship with that quit did not join Primerica because they loved Primerica, what we stand for. And so it just, I didn't cry though. I was going to cry. I was close to crying. But
Made us all cry.
I'm going to show you this real fast. Why don't you take real fast that fin page on the bottom there? Look, all I know is this. You sit down with a young family, husband and wife. You find out they have $300 to put away for their future. And you do this page for them. Now if that person dies, you are probably the most important person in their life right now. Because even though somebody passes away, without that $250,000 of that check that you're going to send that widow, that family's life would be devastated for years. Their kids would be devastated for years and years. But that one appointment that you go on, that one family that you help, can change that family's life forever. Now it's nice that if you do that and the family's paying $76 a month, that's nice as a district leader. You make about $500. As an RVP, you make about $700. That's nice. But is that more important than that family being helped? And that's what you really have to ask yourself. Same thing with it. Now let's just say that now, are we rooting for our clients to die? No, right? We're hoping they're going to live, right? We're not like, the fact is we take care of a family. If you die, we've got your back. If you live too long, we have your back. Because we're hoping this family's going to live. And then to be able to make a $1.1 million difference in a family's life, that's a huge deal. And then when you get to that family, when you get the one, and to be able to do that for a client, after during the years that you're collecting residual, plus when you roll that to an annuity so they don't lose that principal, you're talking about, as a part-time regional leader, you're making anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 to help that family do that. As an agent, you can make $50,000, $60,000. If you're an RVP, you're making $70,000 or $80,000. Even that, the kind of money that we make, you just don't want to get lost in how important we are. And there's so many people in your life that's just checking you out to see if you're going to quit, to see how much it... See, my family knows they don't talk crap about Primerica. They already know that. They don't do it. I'm not the quiet type when it comes to that. See, I know what we do is important. And we're unique as a company. You understand? We're not just financial services, because we don't even want to put ourselves in the same category as the other guys. Okay? Let me show you what. Thanks. This on. If you think, and you get the facts, man, there's a few things that I think, the other companies versus Primerica. See, back in the 1970s, when they couldn't compete with A.O. Williams, right? When we came about, do you understand when our company was founded, in just a few years, people were scared of A.O. Williams? Do you understand that? That they were like just a little company that started with 85 people, within a few years, scared a whole industry, scared everybody. So instead of saying, holy crap, let's see what they're doing, instead of trying to compete, that what they did is they came out with products. In 1970s, whole life was the life insurance to get. That's what everybody else sold, but we didn't.